Just caught wife of 18 years, I got a friend request on Facebook from a woman I didn't know. We had some of the same friends, so I accepted it. Come to find out, she caught my wife and her husband in her bed together. She had her daughter in her arms when this happened. She knows my wife and thought they were friends. I dropped my wife off at another friend's house so they could go to the expo all weekend together. Come to find out, her friend was already there and this dude's truck was parked on the street. When I left, I started getting the messages. So I went back and truck was gone. And his wife said it was definitely his. We have 2 kids together, and she has been using our daughter as an excuse for months to go to this other friend's house, who was covering for her while my daughter would stay overnight with her daughter. I guess he also come over to her friend's house when my daughter and wife are there. I'm finding all this out today after I drop her off. I try to call my wife, but no answer, so I text her that she is caught, and she denies it. I finally got her to admit it after a few hours of back-and-forth text. I'm hurt, but feel glad that I know so I don't have to deal with an unfaithful wife. She doesn't work, but I do, and I work a lot, so we can afford to live. I got a bonus last week for $8,000, and it's all gone with my paycheck from today as well. She really put me and our family in a bad way. She not only wrecked the other family, but ours too. I've never cheated, and don't understand why she did. Now I think how many times she has done this over the years. My 21-years-old girlfriend cheated on me 26 years old and went crazy when I asked her to leave my apartment. Me and my girlfriend had moved in pretty early together, at 2 months of being together due to her crazy ex-mother-in-law harassing us. During this time, I had been working and got us a new apartment with better security, and way better than the last. The day before, move in, she gets drunk, and I'm sober watching over her child. 8 months. We had friends over. My buddy brings his cousin, and she starts to blacking out, and he tries to make a move on her and added her on socials. I kick everyone out to get some sleep. We end up arguing and bickering, almost breaking up then. She got physical during our argument. I excuse it for her being blackout BTW. It was camera. I decide this is a fresh start, no ex-drama, no crazy friends, and we weren't drinking. The week after move-in, she decides when I'm sleeping to go through my phone. She finds nothing besides this girl who had been swiping up on my Snapchat stories, and I responded one time with a, "That's cool." The girl complimented my cat and had said in previous stories me and my girlfriend were cute. Probably should have unadded her in her eyes. I just leave people on scene, though. This causes a big fight, where once again she gets physical, but sober, and says she's leaving, and that I'm cheating. We end up talking it out, and I gave her the promise ring early I was going to give her at 6 months, which was in a couple weeks. Bought flowers, wrote a giant love letter apologizing. Then comes up 3 days ago. We're talking, and she says, maybe we need space, and what about long distance? I told her, I don't do long distance, it has never worked out in the past, and I'm not a fan. If that's the case, we can break up, and I'll support whatever decision she makes. She then gets irate, we start arguing, throwing verbal jabs, saying, I don't love her. She grabs a butcher knife and tried to cut me. I ended up holding her arms, telling her to calm down. She then goes to the bathroom with said knife, proceeds to cut herself and me in the process. We argue. I start filming at this point because I've been through this before. I get her calmed down and chilled out enough. Get to the bed, she crashes. I decided to go through her phone when she slept. I find out she had been texting said guy since that night, had a plan to go to a hotel to cheat on me, as well as bragging about hitting me when he asked about me in the messages. She then also her best friend she had recently started sexting and saying she was in love. This is 2 a.m. I decide to go to sleep, and in the morning tell her she will have to leave my apartment since she wasn't on the lease, because she was a felon. She then becomes irate, stating she's not fucking leaving, and then hits me and tries to choke me. My sister and her husband hear the commotion, and since we live together, are just in the living room. I ended up calling the cops because she wouldn't leave, and she is now charged with 4 counts of DV, enhanced with harassment and child abuse. I was justifying this for the longest because her ex was in prison for beating and raping her. She didn't have a family life, really. Really rough childhood. But I realized I dodged a bullet. Part of me still loves her. The state is pressing charges. I said I wouldn't. My parents want me to, and all my friends. At some point, I feel really bad, because I know she needs help. As well as for the baby, I grew attached and projected the idea of a family. But then, this could have gone way worse. I could have lost everything. She tried to make accusations against me. Only thing saving me is every time either my security camera, a friend, or family had film of it. I know I shouldn't care or tolerate the disrespect, and that she probably never loved me. She didn't work. She didn't support on any aspect. And I was probably a free ride. It hurts, but I'm moving on from all of this. My support system is amazing between friends and family. I'm thankful for it all. I did come to find out, she was already on probation for trying to run her ex over with his car. DK. I just decided to share. If you're going through this, leave before it gets to any of this. Or if you're and haven't left, just leave. It'll save you the pain and trauma.
Found out boyfriend cheated on me before we found out that I'm pregnant. The week I announced my pregnancy online, some girl messaged me saying that she was really sorry, but she knew that my boyfriend had been hanging out with girls and doing Molly drinking with them. He was living with some roommates in a house where they seemed to party a ton. He was getting ready to move in, so I figured I'd give him his space so he can do fun things with his friends before he moved in. I ended up messaging the girl he hung out with, and she had told me they hooked up during the summer when we weren't together, and more recently in December, January, while we were together. I had seen one of his friends' Snapchat story, and it was 2 girls with their pants down in lace underwear, and he had taken 2 Polaroid photos of them half naked, with the Polaroid I bought him for Christmas last year. I feel utterly disrespected and disgusted, but I don't want to have a broken family. This isn't the only incident either. I caught him talking to a different girl in October, and he lied and lied, even though I have video proof of him leaving her house at 5 a.m. on her Ring camera. I am absolutely crushed, not only because he cheated, but because I found out while I'm pregnant. He hasn't done anything so far since he's known I'm pregnant, but that doesn't excuse the fact that he cheated. The trust is gone now, and I don't know if I can ever trust him again. What a great start to my pregnancy. Do you guys believe he'll do it again? Do you believe once a cheater, always a cheater?
Wife's affair with her boss. I'm a 30-year-old guy named Nico, and my world has been turned upside down. My wife, Clara, who I thought was the love of my life, cheated on me. The details are still hazy, but I'll try to piece them together as best as I can. Clara and I met in college. She was the vibrant, bubbly one that everyone loved, and I was the quiet, nerdy type that everyone thought was nice, but not particularly interesting. Somehow, she saw something in me, and we hit it off immediately. We were both 21, and it was like a rom-com cliché come to life. We were inseparable through the next 3 years, and when we graduated, I knew I wanted to spend the rest of my life with her. So, I popped the question, and she said yes. She tried to play it cool, but I could tell she was nervous. I asked her about the messages, and she immediately started crying, saying she didn't know how to tell me. She had been having an affair with her boss, Alex, who was 15 years her senior. Afterwards, Elle found out that she was cheating on me from one of her close friends. I filed for divorce as soon as I found a good lawyer, and she was okay with taking only what was hers since her boss, Rich, would support her luxury lifestyle with his money. It hurts how the person Elle trusted most hurt me in the worst way possible. Last Elle heard she had a baby boy with him. My life is getting better as the days go on. Sometimes the loneliness gets to me and Elle really feel it. I found someone new, but she also cheated on me with her ex-boyfriend, so I currently single and have no relationship with anyone else except for my family. I met her at gym. We used to train together and cheated on me with our coach. So I met this girl when she was kind of chubby, and I was thin, so we both had insecurities. That brought us together and became a couple. Month after month, we were improving. She was losing weight and forming a sexier figure. All thought I loved her even though she was chubby, but she wanted to lose weight, so I supported her. And I was gaining muscle. All thanks to our coach, Eric. And strong man, older than us. We both 19, he 31. He was friendly and very professional. Until that happened. So we started university. Our degrees were different, so the schedules too. My shift was in the evening, and hers was in the morning, so I started going to the gym in the morning, and she at night. It wasn't really a problem. We still saw each other often. We just didn't train together anymore. Eric was a coach at night. At the time she went, then it was another advantage, because her routine required a little more attention. It all started with her taking longer at the gym. We usually saw each other a little after 9 p.m. when I left the university and she left the gym. But she started telling me that she still didn't leave the gym, which was weird because it closed at 9 p.m., and she would sometimes tell me that she got home at 10 p.m. or 11. Then she started ignoring me, and she wouldn't answer my messages until the morning. Anyway, I think it's obvious now. She was cheating on me with the coach. How did I know? It was really dumb. The gym coach got fired for being caught on camera, sneaking into the bathrooms with a girl after closing time, and the girl was banned. I read it on the gym's Facebook page, although out of respect they didn't reveal the girl's identity. It all came to my mind. Is it a coincidence that my girlfriend talked to me about changing of gym? The worst thing is that she mentioned that Eric got fired and wanted to go to the gym where he started working because he was a good coach. He actually was, but she obviously wanted to keep doing their stuff with him. And she was so casual about it. Like, hello? Did you think I wouldn't even think that you were the girl? I know I'm not the smartest guy, but that was the biggest insult to my intelligence I've ever received. Anyway, obviously we broke up. This was about 3 months ago. It still hurts. But the more I think about it, the dumber it sounds. She didn't even try to hide it. My wife's bedroom fantasy went too far. And I'm struggling to cope. I never thought my marriage would come to this point. A place where I felt so distant from the woman I'd shared my life with for over 20 years. My wife, Lisa, and I had been married since our mid-20s. We'd built a home, raised 2 incredible teenagers, and weathered life's ups and downs together. But somewhere along the way, between the soccer practices and late nights at work, the intimacy we once had faded into the background. So when Lisa, 44, approached me, 45, with an idea to spice things up, I wanted to be open-minded. She asked if she could call me by another man's name in bed, said it was just a fantasy, a harmless way to rekindle the spark. I was hesitant, to say the least. It felt strange, uncomfortable even. But I didn't want to shut her down. I didn't want her to feel like her needs or desires didn't matter. So I agreed. That night, the air between us was thick with nerves and anticipation. We started slow, and I could tell she was anxious too. Then it happened. She said the name. Not mine, but someone else's. I felt it like a gut punch. She repeated it, louder this time, and while she seemed to grow more comfortable, I felt the opposite. It wasn't jealousy exactly. I didn't think she was cheating. But there was something deeply unsettling about hearing her call out another man's name while we were at our most vulnerable. I didn't say another name in return. I couldn't. The whole thing felt off, artificial, like I was playing a part in a story I hadn't signed up for. I almost couldn't finish, but I pushed through because I didn't want to ruin the moment she was clearly enjoying. But the truth is, I felt disgusted. Not with her, but with myself for going along with something that made me feel so uncomfortable. We haven't talked about it since. The morning after was quiet, awkward. I could tell she sensed something was wrong, but neither of us brought it up. And now I'm stuck, unsure of how to have this conversation without making her feel rejected or ashamed. I love Lisa. I want to meet her halfway, to keep our marriage strong. But I also need to feel safe and secure in the one place where vulnerability is everything. I know we need to talk. I need to tell her that while I'm willing to explore ways to reconnect, this particular path isn't one I can walk down. I need her to understand that my discomfort isn't a rejection of her. It's a boundary I didn't realize I had until it was crossed. Marriage is about compromise, about understanding each other's needs and desires, but it's also about feeling seen, respected, and loved. And right now, I need to find a way to tell my wife that the man I want her to call out for is the one who's been by her side all along.